Hey, welcome back to the another edition, or should I say the first edition of 2019 episode of Force Tech Magazine. My goodness, today is January the 2nd, 2019. So, welcome. Hopefully, you've had a chance to look at some of your trades. If you made some money already, congrats to you for being so quick on the trigger. But if you haven't, don't worry about it. Sit back, sit tight. Still got another 364 days um, before the end of the new year, before the end of the year, to go ahead and try to make some money for ourselves. Okay. Before we get into that, let's go ahead and get right into the disclaimers. It's going to go a little something like this. Any and all information given to you by Forex Tech Magazine should be considered to be for educational and entertainment purposes only. Nothing that we give to you should be considered to be actual investment advice. If you're in need of actual investment advice, then our suggestion to you would be to go out and seek the assistance of a licensed, competent advisor. Now, let's get into what you came here for, which is to look at some actual trades. Now, looking here at this chart that we're on right now, looks kind of busy. Looks like there's a lot of stuff on here, but reality is not. This is just a couple of drawings of some fibs, and then there was the this moving average crossover that we got here, which is a 14-day and 20-day. Should be a 10 and 20. Should be 14 now. Change that. And the only reason why I got this on here is because I was just looking at some stuff. I was actually looking at some stuff in another currency pair, but um, it can sometimes be helpful to look at things from a different lens at times. And I'll show you the pair that I was looking at here in just a second. Put everything back on here. The reason why I'm looking at this particular pair, this is going to be one that I'm going to that may be entertaining to make a play for here going into the new year, right? And we'll come back in a little bit. We'll talk more about it. But let's look at where we are right now. Let's talk about what we've already been through, right? And I think last time we spoke, we were looking at the Great Britain pound, New Zealand dollar, and we was waiting for it to hit. And hit it did. Bam. Came all the way up to our take profit and went through it right there on the 31st, which is great for us. Right? It hit it and then it proceeded to quit it. Right? Under it, price went back down, dropped back down. So we were able to make that money. It was 300 and it was like 374 pips, 300 some odd pips, and it gave us. I got it right here. Yeah, 374 pips, and for a profit of $2,473, which is freaking awesome right there at the end of the new year. Now, if you happen not to notice this already, we're in the U.S. dollar, South African rand, and this thing is doing horribly. Of course, it's down 1,032 pips, so it gives us a negative equity or a negative loss of $720. Not too worried about it though, and I'll show you the setup here in just a second. The reason why we're not worried about it, and I'm gonna hold that one and see how well it trades out. But once again, that was the last one that we did. This one, this Great Britain pound, I mean not Great Britain pound, but this U.S. dollar, South African rand. I mean, it's not even in our London Open trading strategy. We never traded before. We just happened to do it just because we saw something and we just want to kind of just play around with it. So, every now and then you see a currency pair, you think you might see something where you could do something with. There's no harm in just going in there and kind of breaking away from what you may have already been doing and just jumping in there and playing with it, which that's what we did. Okay. Matter of fact, let's get over to that currency pair. Let's see what we got going on here. All right, perfect. All right, as you can see, maybe as you can't see. All right, so it's been making a series of highs. All right. And we came in, and there's some Fibonacci sequences involved here, and as you can see, we've come in. come in to capitalize off those Fibonacci sequences. Right? What's that? On the wrong time frame for it. Let's see. Let me go back and do this one again. There we go. Alright, so I'm a little off on my take profit, but I am spot on to where I need to be at. And if you look at what I just did here, I went back through and I redrew the fibs for this particular pair. Just manually drew them out. Just putting a little bit above the where I'm at right now. Let's do some. Let's redo this right here. Try something here. So I mean, it's the same thing. I mean, pretty much, yeah, pretty much getting the same picture here, which is this is where the last one takes place at. And it pulls all the way back down to this low point here, right? And then that lets us know that we should be looking for a bounce, perhaps somewhere in here, maybe even a little bit. Could go a little bit lower. Hopefully, it doesn't go a little bit lower. But bounce off these fibs and should push up to somewhere up in here. Now I put my take profit here, right? So I can definitely come back and change that and push it up. As of right now, looks like that's going to be fips. 5,745. If we push it up, it'll be 7,239. Let's see on that. Just cause should be money well earned. Now, of course, the price pushes back. And of course, the price pushes back and it goes into the blue or something like that, or into the green. Then, of course, we have to come back in and reset our stop loss. But for right now, I think we're okay. We'll put our stop loss up here. All right, it does appear price is a ways away. Once again, that's okay. That's why we do what we do. We will sit back. We will watch this. We will wait and see how it plays out over the next. Um, gosh, man, I can't even say next 48 to 72. It may take it longer than that for this to play out here, so it might take another week or so for this to play out. I don't know. First time I ever really traded this currency pair. This is not this is not one of your primary pairs to trade. This is one of your secondary or third string type pairs to trade. But it just kind of presented itself as being kind of interesting to me. Just kind of looked at the pattern. So I was a fib pattern going on. I wanted to see if I can do, see if that ABCD pattern is going to still hold up here. I believe it will. We're starting to make some move right now, as you can see. But it's only a matter of time will tell. We've already pulled down off of some of those, pulled up from some of those lows that we had earlier when we first came on. So I think as we get more into this trade, maybe more into the trading day, hopefully we'll see this thing continue to pull and push higher. And then once again, like I said before, love it to hit our goal for us, man. That'll be freaking awesome, freaking awesome, freaking awesome. All right, so let's get out of here. We'll come back and look at this one more time before we leave. Excuse me, for today, since this is an active trade, and everybody likes to look at our active trades just so they can get some ideas as far as maybe what they want to do going forward. This right here is the Great Britain Pound. Let's close this out. It's the Great Britain Pound, US dollar. Once again, showing this right here, just showing the levels where we had our last take profit in place, right? And showing where price hit it. Price came back down. Which again was good for us. This right here is the new level. It came extremely close to punching that ticket on December 31st. But for whatever reason, was not able to make that connection. Let's see. Let's go back and look at something real quick. Oh, okay, cool. No wonder. All right. I was thinking like, what the world is going on here? All right, yeah. So this is the one. Yeah, so this is the last one. It wasn't okay. So looking like, wow, I was supposed to hit the red. Is that what I was supposed to hit? No, it wasn't. Duh. It's going to the green, so it's green to green, right? Because if you look here, this is our A, this is our B. Our C pulled all the way back here into the green, right? So that means price only had to make it up to the green before we get cashed out, right? And that's what the expectation was, and that's what the expectation hits. Goes to the green, actually had enough energy to get into the bluish purple, whatever, and almost goes into the red. But we didn't really care about that. All we cared about is just getting to the green, because we know if we got into the green, guess what? That means money for us, and we get to cash out, and that's exactly what happened. And as you can see, it did it, and price then proceeds to U-turn. ABCD, guys, ABCD pattern. This thing works. It actually works. Everybody's always looking for something that works. I'm not gonna say it works 100% of the time. I'm not gonna say every single time that you're gonna go in there, you're gonna put it on, it's gonna work for you. But I will tell you this right here. It is a good tool to have in your tool chest to use. It really is. Same thing here. Oops, get over here. This is your A, this is your B, this is your C. Came down to the red, so that means that we're still expecting it to what? Touch back up into the red. And as you can see, it touched the red, proceeded to go down, and now it's proceeding, looks like it may be going back up again. I don't know. But we're out of it for the moment. Would not get back into it again. until it creates another ABCD moment for us. And it may be doing that on another time frame on this same particular pair. So this is the Great Britain Pound Aussie Dollar. That's the thing you got to watch for, is that on different time zones, this thing, it creates these patterns. So these patterns are not always necessarily going to be on the same time zone. And you may have already cashed out on one time zone, and then you can switch down maybe to a lower time zone and try to pick that pattern, try to pick the ABCD pattern back up again and see if it's playing out there, right? There's no harm in doing it, folks. Red to red. So what that means, red to red, right? Boom, hit it. There's everything again. Goes down. Alright, so red, so this is blue. Could be possibly going up to the red. So once again, this is just looking at fibs on a different time zone, the hourly time zone, and we're picking up and we're saying that based off of there, take profit could be right up here at 83.257. It could be, then again, could not be. One of the things that you want to look at too, make sure you kind of figure out what direction the overall currency pair is trading, right? Because that's going to help. It's potentially 180 pips right there. And then the question is, well, do you take that trade, 180 pips? Well, then you look at, well, what am I risking? We put our stop loss back below our A. We don't move it up to the, so after we cross well over to B, so it's 217 pips to get 180 pips. Will not risk that. This reward ratio just don't look to be there for me for this particular trade, but maybe there for someone else. But if you get an idea now, if you're kind of getting it a little bit as far as what we're looking at, what we're doing, hopefully you're kind of seeing it, and you're saying, okay, wow, you know what, I can do that. Absolutely, I can do that. I can look on different time zones, different time frames, and look to see currency pairs, see how they're moving, potentially trade them. It's not hard. It's difficult. Nothing overly difficult about that. This is the Great Britain Pound, Japanese yen. Remember, a couple of days ago, we were looking at this, and it looked, wow, it's totally smashed through here. It's freaking awesome. But if you remember, a couple of days ago, we were looking at this, and we got the reverse trend line going on here because what we're doing, because we're moving downward. Now what we want to do is we want to look when price cross below this reverse trend line, right? That's the signal for us to go in there and start selling more of this particular pair. All right, we had to watch out for the support line because price could potentially bounce off that support line and move back in the opposite direction, which it did a couple times. Did it here, did it here, right? And then it proceeded to try to do it again here. And so what we're looking for is a close below that support line, right? With also a break below this trend line will give us added confirmation that, hey, we can do this. And that, of course, was this candlestick here, right? But looking at it, it was so close to the take profit, didn't necessarily really want to be in a particular trade, so I kind of set this one out because there wasn't much room for profit for me. But as you can see, right, when everything converged, like we talked about, price made a really good, nice, powerful move down. So we have a completion of this particular candlestick pair right here for the fibs, which is freaking awesome. All right, and so now what we got to do is wait to see if there's going to be another fib that's going to be created going in the same direction, or will price actually just all in all reverse and start moving back to the opposite direction. Now, I do believe there's going to be a meeting that's coming up here shortly for the Great Britain Pound. I think they said it's going to be like maybe the second, third week in a month, so not next week, I think maybe the week after. But they're going to do some more another vote or something is going to happen to kind of see what's going to happen with this overall with this currency. And you best believe, bet your bottom dollar, bet your by golly wow, right? It's going to move this currency pair, right? One way or the other, this thing's going to make a move. And probably right now, what you're starting to see is people starting to kind of position themselves with this pair in anticipation of that meeting and of some potential moves. So let's look at what we got next. This one right here. This your A, this your B, this your C. Price came close. Didn't get a cigar though. Came close on the 31st. Didn't touch it. Didn't hit it. And just kind of keep in mind, this right here is a resistance zone. And so price had to kind of get through that resistance zone. This price had been moving sideways for a while. So that's why this right here was even a hard target to hit. Kind of one that's kind of questionable whether or not we'd get it or not, just because of where it was located at. Still may be able to pull it off. Don't know yet. Price looks good. All right, looks like it's kind of pulling back towards that support zone or that resistance zone, which will now become support potentially. And it could push back up before it even taps onto that. Because if you look, this right here's your low, higher high. Could be higher low right here, right? Or higher low here, higher high, higher low, higher high. Will this right here be a higher low? I don't know. Another higher low. I don't know. We'll have to play it out over the next couple of, definitely next 48, 72. It's gonna let us know about this one. Feel pretty confident about it though. Don't think don't see why not, but at the same time, like 174 away now when we were just only like 50 away before. I don't know. Definitely want to watch. We'll see. See how it plays out over the next few. Okay. And that brings us back to the Great Britain Pound, New Zealand dollar, which is where we were already at, right? Kind of where we started to cast at, which is cool because, hey, we made our money off of this one. We got out and we're good to go. Let's look back at where we're at with the, what was that one? The one that was trading, that weird one. I don't say weird one, I'm sorry. Alright, so once again, it's the Great Britain Pound. Great Britain Pound. I'm sorry, not Great Britain Pound. This is the US dollar, South African Rand. Sorry, I'm not thinking. So good deal. So look at where we came from just over a couple of minutes ago. Right? So when we first started the podcast, we were down like over 1,000 and some pips. I think we were negative like $800 or $700 or $800. Now we're only down 172 pips, and we're only down $124. So, amazing turnaround, my friend. Right? Now it's under $100 that we're down, right? Right? Incredible. What a comeback. So that's cool, thank goodness. Like I said, we gotta take profit on here, which we should hit, and continue to push up. The crazy thing about this was I was on one of the social media sites, and I had seen like a young lady. She had went and she had like took the same position, but I think she took this position. She might have gotten a little bit earlier than I did because I got in pretty early right here. But I think she got in somewhere around the same time. Might have been over here. Might have been a little bit back here. I'm not sure. And so people were like giving her, all types of advice, telling her she should sell out. Oh, this is a sell side currency. It's selling. You need to be out of it. What are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. And I was the only one that went in there and told her, said, hey, you know what? You did the right thing. You're just early. You just happen to be early on this currency pair. Right? It's going back up, but you just happen to be in early. And so if you can't afford to, if your account will allow you to wait, just wait. But if you can't, then of course you're gonna have to sell out. But if you can afford to wait, it should be coming back around for you. Just based off of the fibs that we were looking at, just based off of the fibs that I was looking at. And I wasn't trying to give her, investment advice or anything like that, or trying to tell her what to do or how to, spend her money, because that's not what we do. But what I was doing is just kind of looking at the overall market, using the fibs as part of the analysis, and just making just making an educational guess here, educated guess. You know what I'm saying? Looking at saying, hey, you know what? You're in the right direction, right? You did the right thing, which is buying. Now what you got to do is you're gonna have to wait because you got in early. And if you look right here, you can tell we got in early. And let's see if we can just do it right here with this. I don't know if it will. Let's okay. So yeah, you can tell, right? Because price hasn't crossed over our trend line yet, right? And remember, it's one of the ways that we tell when we get in, right? It's the buy signal, right? Is when price crosses over the trend line, right? And closes over the trend line, I'm sorry. All right, so we got a downward trend going, which we definitely do have a downward trend going here, right? But when price closes above our trend line, that gives us a signal to, hey, let's look at let's go ahead and get in this thing and start buying. And unfortunately, it hadn't done it. And I think when I was over here, I might have came off on this one. I might have came off on this candlestick here. And when I did, it gave me and I anticipated early. That was the other thing I did. I think what I did is I anticipated that this was going to go ahead and close over because of the way the candlestick was positioned with the trend line. And yeah, I got in early, man. I got in early. I'm not ashamed to admit it. Got in early. I had to wait through this pullback, but now, thank goodness, looks like we maybe, I don't know. Things bouncing around pretty crazy here. We may get this close above the candlestick, right, which is the buy-in signal, and gives us confirmation that price is going to push this thing up today. Just kind of seeing where it came from earlier today up until now. I feel good about this candlestick here. It lets me know that the buyers come into the market, so I feel pretty good about that this thing should close above this candlestick. If not now, then maybe on the next go. But it's definitely, in my opinion, is on the move up, right? So to the young lady that was out there that took that risk and went out there and purchased this pair, congrats to you. And hold on to it if you can, because a lot of potential money to be made over the next couple of days with this particular pair, which I know you will enjoy. So I'll check something real quick, guys. Just a rough estimate of what the cash on that one's going to be. 7,000. 6,900. So it's about 4,000, almost 5,000. It's like 4,800 or something. Just a rough estimate of what we're looking at potentially for this pair. Once we hit our take profit. So definitely some good potential in there. Oh, what do you know? Look at that. It's gone positive now, right? Sweet. Went negative again. Sweet. Definitely some good potential here for this particular pair. It is a rough pair to trade though, just because it's illiquid and the spreads are going to be kind of crazy if you trade this one. I wouldn't trade this right here as a primary one or something that if I got a small account and I'm looking to try to build it up, I probably wouldn't be in this one here first. I'd probably build it up in some of the more liquid accounts like the Euro US, Great Britain Pound US, Great Britain Pound Aussie US, US Canada, something like that. Something the more traditional type pairs. Build my account up there, and then once I get a good cushion, good amount of pips in there that I could afford to kind of like let run wild, so to speak, then maybe look at trading something like this right here. Other than that, because if you don't, this one right here, I could definitely see somebody running the risk of getting a margin call. Just because this pair can go all over the place in a couple of seconds. right? And it can drive you crazy, I think, if you're not careful with it, right? So you definitely couldn't have a tight stop on this one. It's already went like what? It's already did like 1374. So already did 1,374 pips in just this trade, in just this 4-hour trading session alone. So you can imagine, um, you're sitting there, you got like a tight stop loss on this thing. Probably like be pulling your hair out if you had any to pull. Well, anyway, guys, listen. That's it for me tonight. Right? It's a short night. Right? Get out there, enjoy yourself, man. It's the first trading day. Oh yeah, let me get into this. I'm sorry, I forgot about something. I did forget one other thing while I was looking at this. Boom. This is going to be a trading platform, right? For the upcoming weeks here. All right, and the cool thing about this right here, this is for our challenge, right? Because remember last year, towards the latter part of last year, we was on a 100, 100, I think like 100,000 or 100 to 100 million. I can't remember what it was. Some little catchy title that we had about basically we're starting out with a small account, putting the money in, doing live trades. I'm going to build that account up as much as we could. Unfortunately, my schedule wouldn't allow me to keep that going for you guys. But told you we would be starting back again. Thank God, I guess God at the beginning of the year, and we are. Man of my word, we are. This particular account, we got $360 in there, 32 cents, and we're gonna start trading out of this account here. Hopefully, we'll be able to put on a trade this week, if not this week, early part of next week, and get this thing going. And so that way, you guys can actually see, how much money is being made. This is our Charles Schwab Street Smart Central account, right? But you'll see right here, this is our combined brokerage and futures values. This future account value 000. But what happens is it's just sitting in the brokerage account right now. But once we start trading futures, then you'll see these funds get transferred over to the futures account, and then you'll be able to see, our loss, our wins. Hopefully, our wins. Losses. This is available to day trade. So if we opt to go in and do some penny stocks or whatever, and we want to go ahead and do some day trading, we can go in and do that. And right now, if we opted to do some penny stocks and day trading or whatever, we have about $1,400 that we have access to be able to go and do trades. Now, I personally don't do any type of penny stock trading. That may be something we incorporate here at some point during the year, right? Just to kind of play around with, see how it works. But the whole purpose for me getting this account right here is because I wanted to focus in on futures and options contracts. And the reason being is because one of the biggest complaints that we get as traders is that, especially when it comes down to forex trading, is because it's not a regulated market. It's all over the place, and you have to make sure you got a good broker that's going to honor the agreements in order for you to be able to get paid when you make money in forex, right? So that's one of the biggest complaints about it. Well, it's not a regulated market. A lot of people say, well, you know what? I don't like to trade with stop losses because I feel like every time I put a stop loss in, our broker just goes in and taps my stop losses and get me out and blah, blah, blah. Well, that's crazy because you should always trade with a stop loss because that's your protection in place, right? And if you feel like you're having those type problems, then maybe what you should be doing is not necessarily trading on the spot market. Maybe you should be trading on the futures market, right? Future market is regulated here in the States. It's regulated, right? So that means it has oversight. It means there's people that's watching the people that's watching the people, right? So those type of things that you complained about before, as far as somebody mysteriously going there and hitting your stop loss, should not be happening, okay? Also, the other thing that you have in the futures market is you have volume. So you can actually see the amount of people that are actually buying or selling the currency pair that you're in. So that gives added weight to your decision whether or not you want to make a purchase or not. Because you may say, well, hey, there's a lot of buying going on, but there's no volume behind that buying. Then that lets you know that maybe you shouldn't be buying. That you should be setting up you should be looking for positions to enter in to get ready to start selling this thing. Because if there's nobody entering in, but the price is going up, that means that eventually the price is going to be going down, right? The other thing that we like about trading futures account is the leverage that you get here, right? So this right here, man, it's $360. For me to take a position in the IZ dollar, it's going to cost me probably about 135, 140, something like that. As far as having an account to be able to do it, and I got to keep at least 120, I think, in margin, maintenance margin, whatever, for me to keep the position open. But it allows me to be able to trade at $1 per pip, right? Which is freaking awesome, because if I had that same, 100 and some, first of all, I wouldn't be able to get a position, or I had to take a micro position, and a micro position is only going to give me like 10 cents a pip, right? And if I take a mini position, it'd be $1 a pip, but I'd have to have more than $165 or whatever in that account to be able to do it, right? I'd have a lot more than that. So this right here enables me to take a small account, a really small account, right? Something that would normally be like maybe a mini or micro, right? And actually use it, something that might be considered to be a micro, and use it as a mini account, right? Because it's going to give me that type of leverage. And now once I start trading $10 a pip for this particular account, all I need is probably have in there is probably around about $1,100 or $1,200. Then I can start trading basically a standard lot, right? Versus if I was just with the most brokerages here in the States, and that's why I always say all that stuff here in the States. Now overseas is different, of course. All types of crazy type leverage that you can get, but once again, you gotta really know and trust the broker that you're using. But here in the States, for for me to be able to trade a standard lot, I'm gonna have to commit probably about $2,000 or so worth of capital to that currency pair to be able to do it. Now, whereas here, probably only about $1,100 or $1,200, and I should be able to have that same flexibility to be able to go in there and trade at a standard lot to $2 a pip. So basically, all I need to do is get another $640 into this account, and then I can start trading $10 a pip, which is going to be freaking awesome. And that's the goal, to first go ahead and get that 640 in here as quickly as possible, and so that way we can start trading those standard lots and then really make some really good money for ourselves. Okay. The other thing, or the downside to this right here, right? Because everybody said, well, you saying all the good stuff. Well, what about the bad stuff? Well, I give you the bad stuff. The bad stuff about this right here is that I'm limited on the pairs that I can trade, right? So just like how, we were looking at some exotic stuff earlier. Now, the Great Britain Pound, not Great Britain Pound, the US dollar, South African Rand, I actually can trade it on this one right here. That's kind of one of the reasons why I didn't want to give away the big surprise. One of the reasons why I was looking at it anyway in the first place, to kind of pique my interest. I can trade that one. I can trade the Mexican peso. I can trade the Aussie dollar, Canadian dollar. Oh man, gosh, Great Britain Pound, Swiss krone. I mean, there's a lot of Swiss franc. I mean, there's a lot of different ones that I can trade, but there's also a lot of different ones that I can't trade, right? So I'm limited as far as what I have available to me, and not all of the ones that I'm going to be able to trade am I going to be able to get them in these what do you call them, futures? I think on futures they call them mini or micro lots on futures, but of course they're like a mini lot on a spot platform. So they don't always have those smaller versions of these currency pairs on futures exchange. But what they do, hey, we're going to go in and we're going to try to trade it. Now, that's the future side of things. Now, it's still subject to margin calls and all that good stuff, so you still got to be careful. You still got to trade with your stop loss. You still got to know what you're doing. You just can't go in there willy-nilly. Now, for those of you who may be having problems that, let's say, for instance, like that young lady I was telling you about who was trading the South African Rand, and she had the idea as far as the direction of where it was going to go right, but her timing was off. And this right here is a big problem for a lot of people, is because you sitting in there, you're doing your analysis, and you know the direction it's going to go, right? You know it's going up, you know it's going down, or whatever, right? The problem is, though, when you go in there, you place a trade, right? You either get in there too early, right? Way too early. And so price begins to move against you. And then either A, your stop loss gets triggered, right? Or B, you get a margin call, which is more likely to happen. You get a margin call because your account can't sustain, what's happening. And then you wind up getting knocked out of the trade only now to see the trade go back in the direction that you originally had assessed that it would. And had you been able to hold that position, you would have made a ton of money. Right? Does that sound familiar? Right? That was exactly my case starting out early on. I mean, it used to happen to me more times than I care to remember. So one way to combat that would be to trade options on currency pairs. Yes, you didn't know that you can trade options on currency pairs? Yes, you can. You trade options on currency pairs. You don't have to do everything in the spot market. If you just do anything in the spot market, you got to go out and you got to improve your knowledge of what's going on because you're missing out, right? So if you go out and you trade options on currency pairs, the advantage for you is going to be this, right? You don't have to worry about that margin call now because the only money that's at risk when you trade options is the money that you originally put up. So whatever money that you put up and you pay for that option, and typically it's going to be a fraction of the cost of whatever it would be to hold the currency pair, right? That money is going to be at risk, right? That money is what's going to be in play, right? But if the market pulled down, had a flash crash or somebody put a fat finger on there and the market just dropped, precipitously, 300, 400, whatever pips, guess what? You will still be in that trade. The only time you'd be out of that trade would be is that when that option expires, right, and you're not in the money, then of course you're not going to be in the money. You're going to lose whatever money you put up. So that's the risk for trading options. But for somebody who, like I said before, you have been, you've been studying, you've been doing your homework, you understand your analysis, you know the direction it's going to go, but for whatever reason, your timing or your entries on these things haven't been exactly right? But you knew the target price or where it was going to hit. If you're doing that and you're able to close and you're able to predict that at least within the 30-day window, right? I would say maybe options is something that you want to look at, right? Trade options, and that's gonna be something that we're going to explore too as we go out throughout the year. We're going to be looking at a lot of different trading strategies, just using a lot of different stuff. We'll still also come back to the, of course, the old faithful, which is the spot currency. But we want to give ourselves the opportunity to get in here and try different, just to try different options, right? Yeah, it's fun. Try different options to see if we can, go in here and make some money. But anyway, so listen, that's it for me tonight, guys. Hey, listen, I appreciate all you guys tuning in. Hope you guys have a fabulous 2019. Let's get out to a good start. Let's make some money, right? If you guys got any questions or comments or anything like that, feel free to hit us up at forextechmagazine@gmail.com. Yeah. And the other one is questions at forextechmagazine.com. Love to hear from you. Love to hear your thoughts. Best of luck to you in the new year. God bless you. And I will see you back in another 23 hours. Take care.